Thank you. You may be seated. Good morning, officer.
Good morning. Dozers in here. Still trying to put this while I'll take it. All right.
Let me know when you're ready. Oh? The interpreter's online? All right, do we have, hold on, I should know this. Adam Feldman, is he on the line yet?
Yeah, he's on. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Feldman. This is Commissioner Campbell. We have one interpreter matter, so we're going to take that matter first, and then we're going to go directly to Mr. Robles' matter, if that's acceptable to you, sir.
Absolutely, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Mr. or Miss Interpreter, do we have you on the line?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Martin Hernandez, court interpreter.
Good morning, Mr. Hernandez. All right. We are going to start today with Edgar Acosta Cazares. And then if Jonathan Robles could please take a seat by the door. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Buenos días. We're here.
And before we get started today, I would like to remind, well, let me back up. Good morning. I am Commissioner Elizabeth Campbell, and this is the 8 a.m. initial appearance calendar for April 1st, 2025.
Buenos días a todos. Soy la comisionada Elizabeth Campbell. Esta es la lista de las 8 de la mañana para vistas incoativas hoy, martes 1 de abril.
The court's orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar.
La orden emitida el primer día del mes para la toma de huellas digitales y muestras de ADN aplicarán a esta lista de casos.
Persons are reminded that they have the right to remain silent and that anything they say could be used against them.
Se le recuerda a todos que tienen derecho de no hablar, que cualquier cosa que digan podría usarse en su contra.
Most of you have qualified for a court-appointed attorney.
La mayoría de ustedes califican para abogado de oficio.
If you have not qualified for a court-appointed attorney, or even if you have the right to retain your own attorney.
Si ustedes no han calificado para abogado de oficio o aun que hayan calificado para que se les otorgue un abogado de oficio, tienen derecho de contratar un abogado particular si así lo desean.
At the conclusion of your matter, you will be given written paperwork detailing my orders in this case.
Al concluir su audiencia, se les entregará una hoja con los detalles de lo que yo les diga enseguida.
All right, we are going to start with Mr. Cazares.
Muy bien, vamos a empezar con el señor Cázares.
And Mr. Cazares, could you please state your name for the record?
Señor Cázares, su nombre completo para el acta.
Acosta Cáceres, Edgar Armando.
Acosta Cázares, Edgar Armando.
And Mr. Cazares, what is your date of birth?
Señor Cázares, ¿cuál es su fecha de nacimiento?
30 de marzo de 1997.
March 30th, 1997.
All right. Sir, you are here on a new case for driving with a suspended or revoked license, a Class 1 misdemeanor.
Señor, usted comparece hoy por conducir con licencia suspendida, una falta de categoría 1.
And driving without the required ignition interlock device on your car, also a Class 1 misdemeanor.
Y también por conducir sin el interruptor necesario en el motor de arranque de su auto, que también es una falta de categoría 1.
Due to the nature of your charges, I am not appointing you counsel today.
Debido a la naturaleza de las acusaciones suyas, no le asignaré abogado el día de hoy.
You may retain your own attorney to represent yourself in this matter, or you may represent yourself.
Usted puede contratar un abogado por su cuenta para que lo represente, o usted puede representarse a sí mismo.
One hearing has been set in your matter for April 17th at 9 a.m. in the Ironwood Justice Court.
Se ha programado una audiencia para usted el 17 de abril a las 9 de la mañana en el Juzgado de Paz, Ironwood.
Now, Mr. Cazares, will you attend that hearing?
Señor Cázares, ¿usted se presentará a esa audiencia?
Sí.
Yes.
All right. Based upon that statement, I'm going to go ahead and release you today on your own recognizance. Please attend that hearing. You need to do it.
Basándome en su respuesta, lo dejaré en libertad bajo caución juratoria, pero es necesario que usted se presente a esa audiencia. Tiene que hacerlo.
You may not drive a motor vehicle at this time.
Tiene prohibido conducir ahora.
If you step to the left, the officer will have your paperwork for you.
Pase a la izquierda y le entregarán su hoja.
All right, Mr. Feldman, are you on the line?
I am here.
Mr. Feldman. Okay. All right, Jonathan Robles, please.
Your Honor, may the interpreter be excused?
Oh, I am so sorry. Mr. Interpreter, will you please inquire as to whether anyone else needs your services today?
Yes, ma'am. Buenos días a todos. Soy el intérprete de la comisionada. ¿Hay otra persona entre ustedes que no hable español que necesite intérprete? Si es así, levante la mano ahora, por favor.
All right. Okay. Mr. Interpreter, thank you, and you may be excused.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Jonathan Robles, can you please state your name for the record?
Yes, Your Honor. Jonathan Robles,
And Mr. Robles, what is your date of birth?
July 12, 2000.
All right, and I understand that we have some attorney appearances on the line. First from the state, please, and then on behalf of Mr. Robles.
Good morning, Your Honor. Veronica Skinner on behalf of the Attorney General's office.
And good morning, Your Honor. Adam Feldman for Mr. Robles, obviously present in custody.
Thank you. All right, and Mr. Robles and counsel, we are here today based upon a warrant out of the grand jury following an indictment for Mr. Robles. State, would you like to be heard on conditions for release, if any?
Yes, Your Honor. The state's asking that the grand jury warrant amount be upheld. This defendant was on warrant for some time. All law enforcement were actively looking for him. If defense counsel has reasons to ask for lower bond, the state would ask that that be put in writing. So Your Honor is aware the underlying nature of this enterprise. The defendant was the main individual responsible for trafficking heavy weapons down to Mexico, and there was a load of about 11 or 12 guns that was stopped very near the border from entering Mexico on behalf of the cartel. He's also has cocaine for sale charges, prior felony conviction, and the state does believe the cash bond that was asked for as part of the grand jury warrant is appropriate in this case.
Thank you. And Mr. Feldman, I know you made your appearance for Mr. Robles. Are you is it a limited appearance? Do I need to appoint an attorney just in case for Mr. Robles, or will you be, are you assuming full representation for Mr. Robles?
I'll be assuming full representation, Your Honor.
Okay. And then Mr. Feldman, would you, so as a result, I'm not going to appoint an attorney for Mr. Robles at this time. Mr. Feldman, would you like to be heard on release conditions, if any?
Well, Judge, I understand that this is a grand jury warrant, and so I recognize that a modification needs to be put in writing. So at this point, I would ask procedurally to affirm the bond so that I can put the modification request in writing.
All right. Given that, I am going to affirm the grand jury's cash-only bond in the amount of $50,000, and I'm going to set a hearing in this matter for April 9th at 8:30 in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. Given that, hold on just a second.
And Your Honor, has the grand jury indictment been unsealed?
I'm not, all I have in front of me really is the warrant in this case, so that's what I am affirming in this case. Mr. Robles, I'm sorry, yes, Mr. Feldman?
Or is the state aware if it remains sealed? And if it does, I'd ask that it be unsealed.
Okay, and Mr. Feldman, that is more than I am able to do at this proceeding here today. You can take that up with the judge when you see the judge on April 9th. Mr. Robles, if you go ahead and step to the left, officer will have your paperwork for you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Ms. Skinner, is there anything else from the state?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Feldman, anything else?
No, Judge. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. You may be excused unless you just want to hang out for the rest of the calendar.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Jacqueline Hendricks, please, and then Ashley Nemiak. Good morning, Ms. Hendricks. Will you please state your name for the record?
Jacqueline Marie Hendricks.
And Ms. Hendricks, what is your date of birth?
4/18/1980.
All right, and you are here on a new arrest or new charges of shoplifting, Class 4 felony, and theft, a Class 6 felony. I did find probable cause for both those violations. I am appointing you an attorney because you were on release for other felony charges at the time. Actually, let me back up. I'm going to set three hearings in your case. The first is on April 7th at 8:30. The second one is on April 8th at 1:30 p.m. And the last one is on April 10th at 8:30 a.m. Because you were on felony release at the time of these new incidents, I am going to hold you non-bondable today.
Can I say something, please? I do have a full-time job. I mean, if I miss my work, I won't be able to afford any of these charges or paying for anything. And I have an apartment and a 15-week-old puppy that's there by himself right now. And I will attend all these cases if I can go. I will. I just don't want to lose my job. It will cost me everything. Everything. Like, I've worked so hard. I'm an IOP. I'm doing better. I made a stupid mistake. I really am doing better.
And I understand that. And however, due to the nature of the recent violations for which I have found probable cause, I do need to hold you non-bondable today. If you go ahead, step to the left, officer will have your paperwork for you. Ashley Nemiak, and then Faith Pemberton, if Miss Pemberton could have a seat by the door. And can you please state your name for me?
Ashley Nemiak.
Nemiak. I was trying so hard to do that the hard way. Thank you. Ms. Nemiak, what is your date of birth?
September 17th, 1996.
All right, and you are here on a warrant out of a grand jury warrant. Let me see. For possession or use of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, driving while your license is suspended, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. I am appointing you an attorney today and setting an arraignment hearing in your case for April 9th at 8:30 a.m. in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. I am affirming the grand jury warrant amount in the amount of a $5,000 secured bond. So if you are able to post that, you would be able to be released subject to the terms in the order. So you go ahead, step to the left, officer will have your paperwork for you. Faith Pemberton, and then Christopher Ruiz Jr., please.
Yes. What's up,
Ms. Pemberton, will you please state your name for the record?
Faith Pemberton.
And Ms. Pemberton, what is your date of birth?
1/10/06.
All right. And Ms. Pemberton, you are here on an out-of-county warrant out of the Yavapai County Superior Court. And I am going to, for a probation violation, an attorney will be appointed at your next hearing for you. That hearing is set for April 4th at 8:30 in the Yavapai County Superior Court. I am affirming the Yavapai County bond amount in the amount of a $25,000 secured bond. If you will go ahead and step to the left, officer will have your paperwork for you. All right, Christopher Ruiz, please. Mr. Ruiz, please state your name for the record.
Christopher Ruiz.
All right. And what is your date of birth, Mr. Ruiz?
12/24/2004.
All right. And you are here following an arrest on March 30th for aggravated assault, impeding breathing, a Class 4 felony, and disorderly conduct, finding a Class 1 misdemeanor. I am finding probable cause for both of those violations. At this point, I am finding that you're not indigent, so I am not appointing you an attorney at this time, but you can, of course, retain your own attorney. I am setting 2 hearings in your case, the first on April 7th at 8:30 and the second one on April 10th at 8:30. Due to the nature of the violations for which I found probable cause, I am setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $20,000. In the event that you are able to post that bond, you will be subject to pretrial services monitoring to include an ankle monitor. You are not to have any contact with the alleged victim or return to the scene of the alleged crime. You may not reside at the same location as any alleged victim or go to the alleged victim's residence, even if you are the owner or renter of the residence. If you presently reside with the alleged victim, you must find an alternative residence. One still standby can be arranged with your local police department to collect your belongings. Okay, go ahead, step to the left. Officer will have your paperwork for you. Jared Watson, please, and then John Hernandez.
Jared Watson.
Thank you. I'm just lowering it so I can see you. Mr. Watson, what's your date of birth?
03/12/95.
All right. And Mr. Watson, you are here today on 2 matters. One is a warrant from the Page Justice Court for failure to appear. And I believe an attorney has already been appointed for you in that matter, so I am not appointing you an attorney today. I am setting, a hearing has been set for you in the Page Justice Court on April 4th at 8:30 a.m. I am affirming the warrant out of Coconino County in this matter for $2,500. A secured appearance bond. Checking that, yes. All right, and then you are also here on a new matter in Maricopa County for possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 4 felony on March 31st. I am finding probable cause for that violation, and I am appointing you an attorney. 2 hearings are set for you. The first is on April 7th at 8:30. And the second is on April 10th at 8:30. I am setting a secured appearance bond on these new charges in the amount of $15,000. in the event that you are able to post the bonds and secure your release, you are reminded not to possess any weapons. So, sir, if you'll go ahead, officer will have your paperwork for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, John Hernandez, please. And then if Jared Fuentes could please have a seat by the door. All right. Mr. Watson, can you please state your name for the record? I'm sorry. Nope, I am right. Hold on.
John Hernandez.
Sorry, I didn't click.
It's okay.
Or it didn't process right. All right, and Mr. Hernandez, what is your date of birth?
5/24/1987.
Thank you. And you are here today, sir, on new violations and then a probation or a failure to appear warrant. So let's talk about your new charges first. You were arrested on March 31st for possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony, and criminal trespass in the third degree, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I'm finding probable cause today only on the misdemeanor charge. That doesn't mean that the felony, Class 6 felony charges are dismissed. It just means that for limited purposes of today's hearing, based on the information I have in front of me, I'm only finding probable cause on the misdemeanor. I am appointing you a Maricopa County public defender and setting 2 hearings in this matter. The first on April 7th at 8:30 and the second one on April 10th at 8:30, both in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. I am setting a secured appearance bond in this first in the new matter in the amount of $50. In your second matter, which is a failure to appear matter in which a bench warrant has been issued, you already have an attorney appointed in that case. And I'm setting 2 hearings, the first, the status conference on April 7th and at 8:30, and then a second hearing on April 10th at 8:30, both in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. I am affirming the judicial officer's bond in that case for the failure to appear warrant in the amount of $1,000. So if you go ahead, step to the left.
Can I tell you something?
So you do have the right to remain silent.
Okay.
All right. So you go ahead, step to the left. Officer will have your paperwork for you. Jared Fuentes, please. Mr. Fuentes, will you please state your name for the record?
Jared Daniel Fuentes,
And Mr. Fuentes, what is your date of birth?
October 1st, 2003.
Thank you. And you are here on a warrant from the Arrowhead Justice Court for failing to appear. I am appointing you an attorney in this case and setting a hearing in the Arrowhead Justice Court for April 8th at 8:30 a.m. I am setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,300 in this case.
Can I say that I've already been arrested for this warrant? And they made a court date. They've switched up my times on me. And so I think that's why they put it out again. But I've already been arrested for this, and I just don't see why it happened again. I was recently arrested, I think November, for this warrant.
Okay. Well, this warrant was issued on February 10th of 2025. So whatever happened in November is not relevant to today's proceeding. If, however, you can post that $1,300 secured bond, you would be able to secure your release pursuant to the terms in the order. So, Mr. Fuentes, if you go ahead, step to the left, officer will have your paperwork for you.
So I'm being booked in today?
Yes, you're staying in unless and until you set that secured bond.
All right, thank you.
All right, Dayton red shirt, and then Keith Illy. Mr. Red Shirt, will you please state your name for the record?
Dayton Tully, red shirt.
And Mr. Red Shirt, what is your date of birth?
10/26/96.
All right, and you're here today, sir, on 2 warrants out of the Maricopa County Superior Court for probation violations. And they're both 2023 cases. In both cases, I am appointing you an attorney and setting hearings on April 8th at 8:30 in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. And in the 208 case, I am setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,500. In the 879 case, I am setting a secured appearance bond also in the amount of $1,500. In the event you were able to post that bond, you would be able to secure your release pursuant to the terms of the release order, which include, because you're on intensive probation, that you would need to contact your probation officer within 24 hours after your release. Okay, go ahead, step to the left, officer. I'll have your paperwork for you. Keith Lerone Dozier Lee, and then Brian McCoy. Good morning, sir. Can you please state your name for me?
Keith Dozier.
All right. So this LI is no part of your name? Is that what you're saying? Is it just an... Oh, I see. He's a second. Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't understand that. It kind of comes out weird. Okay, Mr. Dozier, what is your date of birth?
10/5/97.
All right, and you are here today on a warrant out of the Superior Court for a probation violation allegation. I am appointing you an attorney and setting a hearing in your case on April 8th at 8:30 in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. I am setting a secured bond in the amount of $1,000. In the event that you are able to post that bond and secure your release, you will need to contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Go ahead, step to left. Officer will have your paperwork for you. Brian McCoy, please. Hello. Mr. McCoy, can you please state your name for the record?
Brian McCoy, October 12, 1997.
All right. And Mr. McCoy, you are here today on 4 probation violation warrants. So I am appointing you an attorney in all 4 probation violation matters and setting hearings on April 8th at 8:30 in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. In the 2019 matter, I am setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $200. In the 2021 matter, I am setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $200. Now you have 2 2024 cases. In the 2024 case ending 249, I am setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $200. And in the 2024 case ending 874, I am setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $100. So that is a total of $700 in secured appearance bond for all 4 cases. In the event you are able to post that bond, don't forget to contact your probation officer within 72 hours after your release. So go ahead, step to the left, officer will have your paperwork for you. All right, Mario Williams and then Eugene Krantz, please. Good morning, sir. Will you please state your name for the record?
Mario Williams.
Mr. Williams, what is your date of birth?
November 23rd, 93.
All right. And Mr. Williams, you are here on a new case. Yes. For criminal damage, a class 6 felony. I am appointing you an attorney and setting 2 hearings in your case. The first is on April 7th at 8:30, and the second one is on April 10th at 8:30, both in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. I am setting a secured appearance bond in your case in the amount of $750. All right, go ahead, step to the left, officer. I'll have your paperwork for you. Eugene Krantz, please. Mr. Krantz, will you please state your name for the record?
410-1971, Eugene Krantz.
I'm sorry, state your date of birth one more time.
410-1971.
4/10/1971, is that what you said? Okay, you just went super fast. Okay. All right, you are here today on a warrant out of Maricopa County Superior Court for a probation violation allegation. I am appointing you an attorney and setting a hearing in your case on April 8th at 8:30 in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. I am setting a secured appearance bond in your case in the amount of $750. If you are able to post that bond, you need to contact your probation officer within 72 hours of your release.
I've got a ATM card that has money on it, but how do I get the money off of it to pay the bond?
Okay, so you need to talk to your talk to the detention officer, and they should be able to provide you information about how to post that bond. Okay. All right. So if you go ahead, step to the left, officer. I'll have your paperwork for you. Roberto Escalante, please. And then after Mr. Escalante, we will have Emilio Cruz Chavez. Mr. Escalante, will you please state your name for the record?
Roberto Escalante.
And Mr. Escalante, what is your date of birth?
05/28/2001.
All right. And Mr. Escalante, you are here today on 2 probation violation matters out of the Maricopa County Superior Court. And they are both 2024 cases. I am appointing you an attorney and setting hearings on April 8th at 8:30 in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. In the case ending 757, I am setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. And in the case ending 874, I am setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $750. In the event that you are able to post those bonds, you will need to contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release.
All right.
Okay? All right, go ahead, step to the left. All right, Emilio Cruz Chavez, please. And then Samuel Walton. So will you please state your name for the record?
Emilio Cruz Chavez.
And Mr. Cruz Chavez, what is your date of birth?
10/31/1995.
All right, and Mr. Cruz Chavez, you are here today on 4 matters. The first matter is following your resulting in your arrest on March 31st on charges of dangerous drug possession, a class 4 felony. I did find a probable cause for that offense, and I'm setting 2 hearings in that matter. The first on April 7th at 8:30 in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court, and the second one on April 10th at 8:30 in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. I am setting a secured appearance bond in your new matter in the amount of $500. You are also here because the new arrest constitutes a violation, or the charges in your new arrest, for which I found probable cause, constitute a violation of your existing probation in your 2023 case and in both your 2024 cases. In your 2023 case, in all probation violation cases, I am appointing you a public defender and setting hearings on April 8th at 8:30 in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. I am setting in the 2023 case a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. In the 2024 case ending 256, I am setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. And in the 2024 case ending 131, I am setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $5,000. So for all 4 cases, it's a total secured appearance bond of $2,000. In the event that you are able to post that bond and secure your release, you need to contact your probation officer within 72 hours. All right, go ahead, step to the left. And then Samuel Walton, please, and then Mark Bowling.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Walton. Will you please state your name for the record?
Samuel Lejean Walton.
All right, and Mr. Walton, what is your date of birth?
11/1/74.
All right, and you are here on a warrant out of the White Tank Justice Court?
You know, actually, they had sent me a letter, but they didn't say I had a warrant. They said that they sent all my stuff to collection.
Yeah.
And it was no longer a court matter.
It says it's a failure to pay warrant, and it looks like it was issued on, it's older, right, on September 26, 2023. Let's look. All right, and it is for, they say, $2,749.38.
Yeah, they said they sent that to collections, and it was no longer a court matter or whatever.
All right. All right, sir.
I was trying to make the payments, but then I hurt my back, and then I ended up getting a letter in the mail, and they said that it was no longer a court issue, that they were sending the money that I owed or whatever to collections.
All right, well, I will tell you, and I think you know that now because now you've been in jail for a little while, that it is still a court and criminal matter. Are you going to pay that fine? Can you arrange to pay that fine?
I can arrange to get back on the payment plan. Over there in the White Tank, I used to catch the bus down there when I worked for Sizzlers, and I think I was paying like $50 here and there.
All right. Well, I'm going to set a secured appearance bond today in the amount of $500. In the event you're able to post that bond, you will be able to get released today. And then once you get released, please call. Okay. So I'm sorry. I got distracted. I'm appointing you an attorney and setting a hearing in the White Tank Justice Court on April 4th at 8:30 in the morning. And like I said, I'm setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. In the event that you're able to post that bond and get released, you need to go ahead and show up to White Tank Justice Court because it's not done.
I don't have no money to post no bond.
Okay.
So there's no way I can get a release from my own accordance? I haven't been in trouble with the law. I've been keeping my hands clean and everything. I ain't been in trouble with the law in years. And everything here has just been traffic. Some old traffic stuff. But if I would have known, if I would have known it was not a court, it wasn't a court matter no more, because that's what letter they sent me. I would have complied to whatever. So that's all I was doing was complying.
All right, do you have a job, sir? Are you employed?
Yeah, I work for my brother at SG Digital Graphics and Designs. We do silk screen printing and head embroidery. And that's located over there on like 24th and Holly. And that's my brother's address where I stay at.
All right, sir. Are you going to promise me you're going to show up to? Well, if I set a hearing, if White State Justice Court sets a hearing for April 15th at 9:30 a.m., are you going to show up to that?
Yes, ma'am. I'll be there.
All right, sir. Based upon that, I'm going to go ahead and release you on your own recognizance today. Don't forget to show up, and you need to get that paid, because otherwise you're going to be right back here. Okay?
Okay.
All right. We need to reprint that one, and I signed it too. All right, sir. There you go.
Okay. Thank you. You have a blessed day, Your Honor.
All right, Mark Bowling, please. All right, sir, you are here in new charges, shoplifting charge, a Class 4 felony, following your arrest on March 31st, 2025. I did find probable cause for that. I am appointing you an attorney. And I'm setting two hearings in your case, the first on April 7th at 8:30 and the second one on April 10th at 8:30 in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. I'm setting a secured appearance bond in your case in the amount of $750. If you go ahead and step to the left, officer will have your paperwork for you.
Am I getting released there?
Post that bond and you can get released, okay? All right, thank you, sir. Eden Rivera and then Frederick Jones, please. Ms. Rivera, will you please state your name?
Eden Ernestine Rivera.
And Ms. Rivera, what's your date of birth?
11/24/97.
All right, and Ms. Rivera, you are here today on a warrant out of the Maricopa County Superior Court.
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused on it.
For an alleged probation violation. I am appointing you an attorney and setting a hearing in your case on April 8th at 8:30 in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. Did you have something you want to say, ma'am?
Yeah, when I went to court, they said that I had until May 12th to get everything taken care of.
All right, well, I am looking at a warrant that is dated March 14th, 2025. So I am setting a secured appearance bond in your case today in the amount of $300. In the event you're able to post that bond, you can secure your release today. If you do secure your release, you do need to contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Go ahead, step to the left. Officer will have your paperwork for you. All right, Frederick Jones, please. Mr. Jones, can you please state your name for the record?
Frederick Herman Jones.
And Mr. Jones, what's your date of birth?
December 6, 1964.
All right, Mr. Jones, you are here on a excessive speed case, which is a Class 3 misdemeanor for an offense committed on March 31st of 2025. Due to the nature of the charges, I'm not appointing you an attorney today, but you can retain your own attorney if you should choose to do so. I am setting a hearing in the South Mountain Justice Court on April 16th at 9 a.m. Now, Mr. Jones, I am inclined today to release you on your own recognizance, so long as you promise to attend that hearing.
Absolutely.
All right, sir, then go ahead, step to the left, and officers will have your paperwork for you.
Thank you.
Oh, that's fine. All right, Mr. Leon Lopez, please.
No.
Good morning. Can you please state your name for the record, please?
Mr. Leon Lopez,
And Ms. Leon Lopez, what is your date of birth?
7/16/86.
All right, and you are here on a warrant out of Franklin County, Ohio.
Yeah. Can I say something very quick, ma'am?
Ma'am, I'm going to remind you, you do have the right to remain silent.
No problem, I understand.
Okay, what would you like me to know?
Okay, I just wanted to let you know that the only reason why they ran my name, because I was a victim of a domestic assault, and my ex-boyfriend just came through here yesterday.
Okay.
So I feel like maybe that's kind of against my victim rights.
Okay, and I understand that, ma'am, but that doesn't change the fact that you have this warrant.
Of course not, it's still there.
Okay. All right, and all right, so because it's a fugitive from justice, you should have been given a white laminated card. Did you get that?
Yeah.
All right, so the warrant says that the state of Ohio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ohio wants you back on this warrant. Did you review that information on that white laminated card?
Yes.
Okay. As I stated, you have a warrant from the state of Ohio. You have a choice to make at this time. You can choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing and be sent back to the requesting state within 30 days, or you can demand an extradition hearing and the governor's warrant be signed by the governors of both states before you are sent back to the state of Ohio. If you choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing, you would be held non-bondable in Maricopa County Jail for a period of up to 30 days to allow time for the requesting state to come for you. That 30 days would start tomorrow as long as you do not have any criminal charges pending against you anywhere in Arizona. If you do have criminal charges pending against you in Arizona, the 30-day period would not start until those charges are resolved. If you choose to have an extradition hearing, I will set your hearing for April 14th at 1:30 in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. I cannot appoint an attorney to represent you because extradition matters are civil in nature, but you would have the right to hire a lawyer at your expense if you choose. You are entitled to bail, which in this case would be in the amount of a $50,000 secured bond.
I'm sorry, how much?
$50,000.
Why so much?
Ohio's indicating that you're non-bondable, but under Arizona law, I cannot hold you non-bondable in this matter.
$50,000?
Secured bond. If you aren't able to furnish your bail, you will be held in custody during the time until another judge modifies your bail, which could happen on April 14th.
There's no way for you to, release me to my house?
No.
Why is that?
I can't do that on another state's warrant.
Well, I mean, they can come.
No, I'm not going to do that, ma'am.
Oh.
Ohio's indicating to me that you're non-bondable, okay?
I didn't do the upset charge that was said.
A governor's warrant signed by the governor of both states is required to extradite you to Ohio, and that process could take up to 90 days. So your choice today, ma'am, is whether or not you want to waive that extradition hearing. You don't.
I shouldn't have to wait here for 30 days for someone to come get me.
Okay, so I'm going to then indicate that you are not waiving the extradition hearing, in which case
I am waiving.
I'm sorry, you are?
Yeah, might as well. I'm not going to stay here for longer than 30 days. It's ridiculous. I don't have any charges here. I haven't done anything wrong here.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and
I'm a victim of a domestic abuse.
That you are waiving your right to an extradition hearing.
You're going to need me for the hearing, for the domestic abuse hearing.
All right, and I am saving that. We're going to need to reprint that.
Do you understand that, right?
Yeah. And you have to, there's something you need to sign too.
My ex-boyfriend was abusive, and so he came here to jail because I called the cops on him. I'm going to have to be a witness to that hearing.
Okay, ma'am.
Unless you guys don't do that here.
You already signed. Okay. Did you already read?
No worries.
Hold on.
In that case then, because I'll be gone.
Okay. I have to read you these things. Thank you. I understand at this time you do want to sign the waiver of extradition. I need to ask you some questions as I am making a record of this proceeding. You need to, and as you stated, you did read the waiver of extradition paperwork, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you understand that you do not have to sign the paperwork?
How long is it going to take them to get me if I sign this paperwork?
If you sign the paperwork,
it needs to be less than 30 days. That's ridiculous. It doesn't take that long to get here.
Okay, ma'am, I can't control those things.
Well, can you tell them like hurry up? That would be great.
It could take up to 30 days. Okay.
There's no reason for it to take 30 days.
Okay, ma'am, I can indicate that you do not choose to waive the extradition hearing, and I'm happy.
Does it look like I said I did? Isn't that what I said?
Okay.
Okay then.
You understand you have the right to an extradition hearing, correct?
For what? You're still going to extradite me there. What's the point?
Okay, ma'am, so I have to go through these questions.
Go ahead.
Unless you answer yes to these questions, you can't waive your right, right? You have to acknowledge to me that you understand. Thank you. Do you understand that you have the right to hire a lawyer at your own expense?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to demand that a governor's warrant be signed by the governors of both states before you are returned?
Yes.
All right. Do you understand that you have the right to bail?
To what?
To bail.
What's that mean?
It means that in this case it would be the $50,000 security.
I don't have money to do that. I don't have a job.
Okay. Do you want to give up those rights and sign the paperwork?
Looks like I am. Yes.
Has anyone threatened you or promised you anything to get you to sign the paperwork?
No.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication within the last 24 hours?
No.
Okay, I find that you knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily are signing the waiver, and I will also sign it. I am directing the sheriff's office to notify the requesting state that you are ready to return. The requesting state will have 30 days from tomorrow to pick you up unless there are local charges pending in Arizona. If there are local charges pending, the 30 days will not start until the conclusion of that case. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. All right.
Where's he going to sign this?
You can go ahead.
They should never call it off the rand. Should never. I don't know I'm going to jail for it. What do you mean? Still makes sense. That's why I didn't know the job. Thank you. Okay.
You got one more. Misty, just sign one more thing.
No. Yeah. It looks like yeah.
Okay, I'll take a check.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Robert Simpson, please.
All right, Robert, come on in.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Mr. Simpson, can you please state your name for the record?
My name is Robert David Simpson, born July 3rd, 1961.
All right. So, Mr. Simpson, you're here on two cases. So let's talk about your new case first. Based upon your arrest yesterday for possession of narcotic drugs, a class for felony and possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. I did find probable cause for those, and I am appointing you an attorney. I am setting 2 hearings in your in this first case, one on April 7th at 8:30 and the second one on April 10th at 8:30 in the downtown Maricopa County Superior Court. I am setting a $50 secured appearance bond as a placeholder in your new case, okay? So let's talk about your case. A grand jury warrant has been issued in your existing criminal matter for failure to register as you were required to register. And that is a Class 6, and it actually 2 counts of failure to register, a Class 4, and then a Class 6 misdemeanor. I am setting in that failure to register case a secured appearance bond in the amount of a cash only appearance bond in the amount of $2,500. If I didn't mention it, because I meant to, I am appointing you an attorney in the second case and a hearing on the failure to register case. I am setting a hearing on April 9th at 8:30, and as I said, a cash-only appearance bond in the amount of $2,500. And if you will, go ahead and step to the left. Officer will have your paperwork for you. Thank you, sir.
Take a seat. I'll see you right over there in a minute.
And court will stand in recess until 11 a.m. Thank you.
Release in this case, but it sounds like regardless of what I do in this case, you would remain in custody on your other matters. And in that situation, are you being held pretrial or as a sentence?
Sentence.
And do you know how long your sentence has left?
3 years.
Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and put a bond on here so you can be seen on this case on the in custody date, which is tomorrow. And that will be at 1 p.m. before Judge Foreman. And that will be for an arraignment. If you did happen to be released, the additional orders would be that you possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, and I am appointing, let me just double check this, hold on. Okay, thank you. All right. And so I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. I'm going to appoint Jill Gukin. And her phone number will be on the information that you receive after court today. If you were to be released and fail to appear for a future hearing in this case, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. The bond is $50 since he's in there on a sentence anyway. All right, you're excused for today. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Good morning. Please state your name.
Whistle.
Mr. Wessel, this is the time for your initial appearance. You are here this morning on charges of aggravated assault. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney in this case, and I am appointing the Public Defender's Office to represent you. We're going to talk about your conditions of release this morning, and to prepare for that, I have reviewed information regarding the case, including the interim complaint. And then I have reviewed the state's recommendation, which was that you be held on a bond of $5,000 and released to pretrial services if you post that bond. And then I've reviewed information provided by pretrial services. And it's my understanding that you're also being held on a bond in another case that is not before me this morning. So no matter what I do with this case, you would not be released until that matter is resolved. Would the state like to be heard further?
No, Judge, thank you.
And the defense.
Your Honor, I made the state aware of this. I do not have the interim complaints or the state's recommendations. I haven't seen them uploaded, so I really need those. I don't know who can give them to me. But given that he is in custody on other charges, his record is short. It appears likely due to some sort of substance use disorder. We are just asking for low bond.
Thank you. What's your name, ma'am?
Antea Gadalitza with the Public Defender's Office, yes.
Thank you. I believe that the clerk is going to forward you that information if the county attorney has been unsuccessful in doing so.
Thank you.
And, thank you for your understanding, Ms. Gadalitza, and Cora. I'm trying to work out this process. Appreciate your patience.
Sure. And Peter, if you want to email it to me, that's okay too.
Will do. Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to order a bond of $1,000, cash or secured. If you happen to be released, you'll be released to the custody of pretrial services. You'll be required to submit to any monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services. You may not possess or consume alcohol or illegal drugs. You may not possess firearms or weapons. No contact with the alleged victim. Your next court date is going to be April 11th at 1:30. That will be for a preliminary hearing. It's possible that court date will change, so you'll want to keep in touch with your attorney. If you are released and fail to appear for any future court dates, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Sorry. Yes.
All right. And then, counsel, if you need, after you receive all the other information, if there's anything you need to go back on the record for about this case, you can request it later on.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Hey, Angel. Are they on the Thursday? Yeah.
Yes. Oh, you're with Reynolds. Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, everything. That's the first thing about chair. Thank you. Yes, I see.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Colonel Robert Harrington, good morning.
Mr. Harrington, this is the time for your initial appearance on charges of criminal trespass and disorderly conduct. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and in certain circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf. We're going to talk about your conditions of release this morning. And if I were to order that you be released on your promise to appear for future court dates, would you appear at your future court date?
Yes.
So I am going to order that you're released on your promise to appear. Your next court date is going to be April 30th at 8:30 a.m. in Sarita Municipal Court.
Okay.
If you fail to appear for that hearing, a warrant can issue for your arrest. The additional orders are that you are not allowed to possess or consume alcohol or illegal drugs. You cannot have any contact with the alleged victims and do not return to the incident location. Do you understand?
Yeah, they were terrorizing me. I wasn't even on their property. I was on the property next door, and they went to the adjacent property, and they were screaming at me and harassing me. And then when I tried to leave, they called the cops on me. So I wasn't even on their property. The building next door was vacant, so I wasn't trespassing. People sit outside the 99-cent store because it's closed all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, they tried to falsely accuse me of a bunch of things. I get attacked and I get harassed every day in Sarita, Green Valley. They can't control themselves, right? Unfortunately.
Okay.
But this is a recurring thing. Where
the only thing before me today are your conditions of release, and I am ordering that you're released with conditions of release. I'm not holding you in jail, so you don't need to tell me any more information about the offense. It does look like you have a general delivery address, so I will let you know that when you are released, there's a trailer outside the jail called the Transition Center. You can go in there and talk to them. They may be able to have resources about places to stay and things like that that might keep you out of situations.
Yeah, they don't have houses and anything else out here. It's completely full. I've already called all the shelters. I've been on the streets for 2.5 years. It's inevitable for me to have to be interacting with the people that are constantly tormenting me because I'm imaginally homeless and there's no place for me to live.
All right. I'm just telling you that you can check in with them as you leave the jail if you'd like to see if there's anything that can help.
But this is the culture that they live. every time. I can't go anywhere without the harassing or tormenting. But
All right, sir. Thank you. You're excused for today.
thank you, ma'am. And I don't have general delivery, by the way. Sir, go ahead, kid.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Tim Lekic.
Mr. Lekic, this is the time for your initial appearance. You are here on charges of disorderly conduct, threats and intimidation, and assault. Those are all domestic violence charges. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and in certain circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf. We're going to talk about your conditions of release. And sir, if I were to order that you be released on your promise to appear at your next court date, would you appear for your next court date?
Yes.
All right, so I am going to order that you're released on your promise to appear. There are going to be some additional conditions of release. So one of them is that you possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, that you have no contact with the alleged victim in this case and do not go to her residence or workplace. That's Maya Kastajic. And if you were living there, you may return one time with a police escort to retrieve your belongings. You'll take my order to the closest police station and they will escort you to the residence to obtain your belongings. Your next court date will be April 11th. That is at 10:30 in the morning. That is with Judge Steele for a domestic violence arraignment. And if you were to fail to appear for that court date, a warrant could issue for your arrest. All right. So, great. Okay. Do you have any other, do you understand the conditions of release and the consequences of failing to appear for court, sir?
Yes, I understand.
Great, thank you. You're excused.
Potter? Let's see. No.
Good morning. Please state your name.
John Potter.
Mr. Potter, this is the time for your initial appearance on charges of domestic violence, assault, and disorderly conduct. These are misdemeanor charges. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice. In some circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf. And we're going to talk about your conditions of release. One thing I noticed from pretrial services was that they wanted you to contact your assigned probation officer on the first working day following your release from custody. So I just wanted to check with the jail to make sure a probation hold has not been placed on Mr. Potter since the calendar was printed.
1 second, Jonas, they're double checking.
Thank you.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, sir. So I am going to order that you be held on a bond of $500 that will be cash or secured. If you post that bond and are released, the additional orders are that you possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, that you commit no acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms or weapons, have no contact with the alleged victim, and do not return to their residence or workplace or the incident location. Let me see. If you were living with the victim, which it doesn't tell me in the information, then I will order that you may return one time with a police escort to pick up your belongings. Were you living there?
No, I have my own house.
Okay, then I will not order that.
There's no way there's no way to waive $500. I don't know anybody in Tucson. I just started working
at another place. Everything's going good. I just got a new place. I have one other person I know, but I don't know the phone number. Is there any way I have to go to court no matter what? I'm on probation. I'm on the home part of my probation. Working my ass off with this. Is there any way?
So, sir, that's actually the reason that I'm ordering the bond is that you are already on felony probation for domestic violence charges. But the other jurisdiction should be aware that you are in custody here. And you can reach out to them to make sure that they are aware of that. Do you understand?
Yeah, I can't reach out to them. I'm in here. Yeah, what you mean?
I believe there are ways to make phone calls and things like that from the Pima County Jail. You can talk to the COs about that. I am also going to appoint an attorney to represent you in this case, and that is going to be Jill Gookin. So you will also be able to talk to your attorney about that. And you're going to be seen on this case by another judge tomorrow at 1 p.m. for, it says, well, for a video review. Let's see, or a DV arraignment. Let me put in your attorney's information here. If you were to post bond and be released, then you would be required to appear for your court hearing, and if you fail to appear, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand, sir? All right, thank you. You're excused. Good morning. Please state your name. Mr. Novan, this is the time for your initial appearance. You were arrested on warrants for several charges out of Tucson City Court, including criminal trespass, criminal damage, and 3 counts of disorderly conduct. Those were all in failure to appear warrant status. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice. In certain circumstances, an attorney will be appointed on your behalf. And I am appointing the City of Tucson Public Defender to represent you. It looks like maybe they were already representing you in these cases. So in that case, I would just be affirming the prior appointment. I am going to order that you be held on a bond of $250. That'll be cash or secured, that you possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, that you have no contact of any kind with the alleged victims of the disorderly conduct, trespassing, or criminal damage, that you do not return to those incident locations, and that you abide by previously ordered conditions of release. If you remain in custody, your next court date is going to be April 11th at 1:45. That'll be a video review. And if you are released, your next court date will be May 5th at 2:30 in the afternoon for a pretrial conference. In either case, it'll be before Judge Verena at Tucson City Court. If you were to fail to appear for your court date after being released, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand? Ma'am?
Jonathan. Yeah.
Do you understand that if you fail to appear for court, a warrant can issue for your arrest? Okay, you're excused.
So.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Francisco Flores.
Mr. Flores, this is the time for your initial appearance. It looks like you have new charges of assault, unlawful imprisonment, disorderly conduct, and you also had a few older charges that were in warrant status for assault, criminal damage, and disorderly conduct. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. I am appointing the City of Tucson Public Defender to represent you. I will also let you know on the new charges that you are presumed to be innocent. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. And we're going to talk about your conditions of release. So I'm going to order that you're held on a bond of $250 cash or secured, that you are not allowed to possess or consume alcohol or illegal drugs, that you may not commit any acts of domestic violence, that you may not have any contact with Ileana Flores, your daughter, you may not go to her residence or the location of this incident, and you must establish an alternative address if you were living with the victim. Your next court date is going to be a video review if you remain in custody. That's on April 9th at 1:30. And if you are released because you post bond, then your hearing will be on April 9th at 1:30, but you'll be required to appear on your own. The jail will not be the one making you available. That'll be for a pretrial conference. If you were released and failed to appear for your court dates, a warrant can issue for your arrest. The hearings can also go forward in your absence. That includes trial. And if you are convicted and then fail to appear for sentencing for at least 90 days, you can lose your right to a direct appeal. Do you understand the consequences of failing to appear for court?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Thank you. You're excused for today.
Parker?
Good morning. Please state your name.
Marilyn Parker.
Ms. Parker, this is the time for your initial appearance and arraignment on charges of assault and 2 charges of disorderly conduct. Those are all domestic violence offenses. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented. Well, you have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and in certain circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf. We're going to talk about your conditions of release this morning. If I were to order that you be released on your promise to appear and that you could not have contact of any kind with Armando Canez, would you abide by those conditions and appear at your court date?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so I will order that you are released on your promise to appear for future court dates. The additional orders are that you possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, that you commit no acts of domestic violence, no contact with Armando Canez, do not go to his residence or the incident location, and if that's where you were living, you would need to establish an alternative address. Do you need to be able to return there one time with a law enforcement escort to pick up your belongings?
Yes, and I also wanted to ask for an order of protection.
All right. There's some paperwork you have to fill out for that. But if you do, you will be able to be heard on the request for an order of protection.
Okay.
Your next court date is going to be April 29th. That's at 1:30 p.m. before Judge Million at Tucson City Court. If you fail to appear for that court date, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
I understand, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. You're excused.
Contigo?
Good morning. Please state your name.
Bianca Montijo.
Ms. Montijo, this is the time for your initial appearance on charges of assault and disorderly conduct, which are domestic violence offenses. It's my understanding that the alleged victim, Jaime Montijo, is also present on the line. Mr. Montijo, if you are still present, I will be calling on you in just a moment. You may need to hit *6 to unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Montijo, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice. In some circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf, and we're going to talk about your conditions of release today. Mr. Montijo, is there something you would like me to know before I decide about her conditions of release?
Not really, ma'am. I mean, I don't want to press any charges on her. At this point, I don't think I don't think she could come back home. I mean, everything is good with her. I just don't think she can come back home due to some stuff
our son mentioned to me about personal stuff, which I'm not going to mention here, but she's not. She probably already has a place to stay, so my house is not available for her. She can come get her clothes and go somewhere else.
Okay. And Mr. Montijo, the information I had was that you were not requesting a no contact order, but are you currently requesting a no contact order?
I'm not requesting a no contact order. I just don't want her. I just want her to get her clothes and just be out.
Okay, thank you.
But I do not want to press any charges. She did nothing wrong. This should have never happened.
Sir, if I were going to dismiss the case today, then I wouldn't be putting in any orders in place. But it's not before me to dismiss the case because the prosecution has brought the case. So if you would like the case dismissed, you need to contact the City of Tucson Prosecutor's Office to request that, okay?
Yeah, no problem. I'll dismiss the case. That's not a problem.
Okay, so for today, the case is still in place, and I'm going to address her conditions of release on these charges.
Okay.
Is there anything else? I feel like you've let me know everything you need to, but is there something else you want to let me know just regarding her conditions of release?
I mean, between me and her, no. I mean, that would be just...
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So, ma'am, I am going to order that you're released on your promise to appear at your future court dates. The additional conditions of your release are that you commit no acts of domestic violence and that you do not go to Mr. Montijo's home. So it sounds like you were living there. I am going to order that you can return there one time with a law enforcement escort to retrieve your personal belongings. So you'll take my order, which you'll receive before you're released, to the closest police station to the residence, and they will escort you to pick up your belongings. Your next court date is going to be April 29th at 1:30. That'll be before Judge Millie's conference. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. You are presumed to be innocent. However, if you fail to appear for court dates, warrants can issue for your arrest. The hearings can go forward in your absence, which includes trial. And if you're convicted and then fail to appear for sentencing for at least 90 days, you can lose the right to a direct appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, thank you. You're excused for today.
Thank you.
Ma'am, can I add an airline? Go ahead. That's fine.
Alvarado?
Good morning. Please state your name.
Alvarado.
This is the time for your initial appearance on charges of possession of drug paraphernalia and criminal damage, disorderly conduct. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and in certain circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf. Here. We're going to talk about your conditions of release today. And I have reviewed information provided by pretrial services as well as the charging document. And let's see. If I were to order that you are released on your promise to appear for future court dates and that you cannot have any contact with the alleged victims, Rosa Valderrama and Cesar Viveros, would you be able to abide by those conditions and appear for your next court date?
Yes, fine.
All right. So I will order that you are going to be released on your promise to appear. I will also order further conditions of release, which are that you possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, have no contact with the alleged victims, don't return to their home, which I believe is also the incident location. And if that's where you were living, establish an alternate address. You'll also be ordered to abide by any previous conditions of release that may have been issued against you. Your next court date is going to be May 1st at 9:30 in the morning. That's before Judge Verena at Tucson City Court.
Okay.
I will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. You are presumed to be innocent. However, if you fail to appear for future court hearings, a warrant can issue for your arrest. The hearings can go forward in your absence, including trial. And if you are convicted and then fail to appear for sentencing for at least 90 days, you can lose your right to a direct appeal. Do you understand?
Understand.
All right, thank you. You're excused.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I have sent a couple of emails. I haven't received anything as far as the interim complaints or the state's recommendations. So I'm not entirely sure what to do.
Yes, Ms. Catalitza, we are emailing them to you right now.
Thank you. Is she still a misdemeanor? So. No, okay. No. Oh, okay.
I'm just going to wait until you tell me, counsel, that you've received the information you need.
Yeah, I'm trying to open up the interim complaints now. Okay, Your Honor, I think we can at least proceed on Melgoza.
Thank you. Please state your name, ma'am.
Jeanette Melgoza.
Ms. Melgoza, this is the time for your initial appearance on charges of child neglect. It's you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. I am going to appoint the legal defender's office to represent you in this case, and you do have counsel seated next to you for the purposes of today's hearing. We're going to talk about your conditions of release, and in preparing for that, I have reviewed information in the interim complaint. I have also reviewed the information provided by pretrial services. And then I have not received, it may have come through just recently in an email, but I do not have the state's recommendations in front of me yet, so I will ask the state to provide their recommendations now.
Yes, Judge. The state is recommending a bond amount of $2,500 for Ms. Melgoza.
Thank you. And would you like to be heard any further?
No, Judge. We will be sending the, and apologies again, Judge. This is my first go around here, so I'm sending the court the recommendations now.
Thank you. And defense.
Your Honor, I'm asking for pretrial release. She is 28 years old with no prior convictions. Based on the interim complaint, it looks like she could be a victim as well. It does not appear. I sort of have some information about the co-defendant, what the co-defendant's charges are. Sort of based on that, I feel that the drugs that are allegedly in breach of the channel do not belong to Mrs. Mendoza. And so really for those reasons, particularly because the victim representative does not object to her release and the victim will not be at the residence, I am asking for pretrial services release for Mrs. Mendoza. That she's willing to these 2 jobs.
And is DCS involved?
I don't have that information. I can imagine some sort of check, but the status of that, the state has to check.
Fortunately, Judge, no, this just happened, so fortunately I'm unaware as to any pending DCS case.
Okay, thank you. So I am going to order, ma'am, that you are released to pretrial services at this point in time. If you, well, the additional orders will be that you are not allowed to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. You are not allowed to possess firearms or weapons. You must submit to any monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services, and you may not have unsupervised contact with any minors. Your next court date is going to be April 21st at 1:30 in the afternoon. That'll be for a preliminary hearing, so it's possible that court date will change. You will want to keep in touch with your attorney, as it's your responsibility to ensure that you know your court dates and appear for them. If you fail to appear, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, thank you. You're excused.
And Judge, the court's email address is S. Monroe. Is that correct?
No, it's the Monroe, and it would actually be better if you sent it to the clerks. They're going to send you an email right now so that you'll have the address to send it back to.
Jason.
All right, please state your name.
Jason Washington.
Mr. Washington, this is the time for your initial appearance on charges of child abuse, neglect, possessing prohibited weapons, and possession of a narcotic drug. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney in this case, and I am appointing the public defender's office to represent you. You have counsel seated next to you for the purposes of today's hearing. We're going to talk about your conditions of release, and I have reviewed the interim complaint describing the circumstances surrounding the charges. I have reviewed information about you from pretrial services, which would include any criminal history of felonies and any information that you provided about yourself to pretrial services, and then their assessments and recommendations. And I have not had a chance yet to review the state's recommendations, so I will ask the state right now to provide its recommendation.
Your Honor, the state is requesting a $5,000 bond for Mr. Washington. We're also, based on the nature of the offenses and the allegation in this case, we're also recommending that that if he's released or if he post bond, that he to have no contact with the victim in this case.
Okay, thank you. And when you refer to the victim, do you mean the child? Sorry, Sorry, I think you're muted.
Judge, with the minor victim.
Okay, thank you. Let me just. And just so the defense knows, I would probably just make that no unsupervised contact. So would the defense like to be heard regarding the other recommendations?
Briefly, Your Honor, I would note that he is a longtime resident with a verified address and family support as verified pretrial services. He may or may not have some employment. It seems like he holds a CNA certificate of some sort. I would ask that he, given that he also has no convictions, he must assess at a level 2, would ask for pretrial services release.
All right. It looks like he was already on pretrial services release when this occurred, so I am going to impose a bond. And I'm going to make that bond $5,000, cash or secured. If you are able to post that bond and be released, you'll be released to pretrial services. You'll be ordered to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms or weapons, and submit to any monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services. You're also ordered to contact your pretrial services officer on the first working day following release from custody and not to have any unsupervised contact with minors. Your next court date is going to be April 11th at 1:30 in the afternoon. That will be for a preliminary hearing. It's possible that court date can change, so make sure that you keep in touch with your attorney from the public defender's office because it is your responsibility to appear for any court hearings. If you are in custody, the jail will make you available. However, if you are released and you fail to appear for any court dates, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes.
Thank you.
Your Honor, what was that? I'm so sorry. What was that preliminary hearing date?
April 11th at 1:30.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And I'm not sure if you get a chance, counsel, to follow up with people, but I think I have to change Ms. Melgoza's date to co-defendants.
I see. Okay. I'll email the legal defendant.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it has to be her because he's yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, number 8, Mr. Washington's.
Oh, I already sent that over there.
Here's Archuleta's.
Thank you very much. Handwritten.
Yeah.
Mr. Raptis, do you know if the next defendant is STEPS eligible? Pretrial services indicated that they were, but or if that they could be. I know we can't guarantee they're eligible or would be accepted into the program, but there's more than just the drug charges. Sorry, you're muted.
Yes, Your Honor. So the defendant's last name and who's coming up?
Yes.
Is that Mr.
Number 10 on the calendar, Archuleta.
Okay. So yes, Judge. Mr. Archuleta is STEPS eligible, at least for the diversion screening.
Okay, great, thank you. Great. Good morning. Please state your name.
Benny Archuleta.
Mr. Archuleta, this is the time for your initial appearance. It looks like you have 2 new felony charges. Oh, that's why, because they're separate. Okay. Of possession of narcotic drugs and possession of drug paraphernalia, and then 2 misdemeanor charges of driving under the influence and displaying a false license plate. You have the right to remain silent on all of these charges. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. I am appointing the public defender's office to represent you on those felony charges. In certain circumstances, you may qualify for a court-appointed attorney on the misdemeanor charges, and you always have the right to hire the attorney of your choice.
Okay.
We're going to talk about your conditions of release. And to prepare for that, I have reviewed information surrounding the charges, the arrests, and I have also reviewed information provided by pretrial services, which would include any information you provided to them, as well as their assessment and recommendations. It looks like you, on these felony charges, are eligible to be screened for a pre-indictment diversion program called STEPS. If you were to be accepted into that program and successfully completed, it is possible that the state would not go forward on the felony drug charges. Are you interested in that program? Okay, so I will set your case for a hearing on that to determine your eligibility for that program. That hearing will be on April 8th at 9 a.m. My understanding is that you only get 1 shot to appear for that hearing. If you fail to appear, they do not give you another chance. You can speak with your attorney more about that. And at that hearing, you'll have a chance to speak with an attorney about the program. You'll have a chance to speak with service providers and pretrial services, and they'll determine if you're eligible for the program. So that hearing will be on April 8th. And then we're going to talk about your conditions of release. So the state is recommending that you be held on a bond of $1,000, and that if you are able to post that bond and be released, that you be released to the custody of pretrial services. Would the state like to be heard any further on that recommendation?
No, Judge.
Thank you. And would the defense like to be heard?
Just briefly, Your Honor, we are asking for pretrial release. Given that he's a longtime resident, he's 46 years old with no convictions. It appears that he maintains some form of employment and is a student. So for those reasons, again, primarily the lack of any prior convictions, we are asking for pretrial release.
Thank you. All right, so I am going to order that you be released to pretrial services at this point in time. And then we've set your steps hearing, so we also need to set a preliminary hearing. Usually we're required to set that hearing within 20 days for the state to determine if it is going to go forward with an indictment or otherwise. When you are being screened for the diversion program, we ask if you would be willing to waive that from 20 days to 45 days so that you have time to be assessed for the program before the state decides if they are going to go forward with an indictment. Would you be in agreement with that?
Your Honor, may I just speak with him briefly to explain that to him a little bit more?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Honor, we're willing to waive time.
Okay, thank you. So your next court date will be the steps hearing for the felony charges on April 8th, and then you'll have a preliminary hearing scheduled for May 16th. It's possible that hearing will not go forward, so you'll want to stay in touch with your attorney so that you are aware of all of your court dates, as it's your responsibility to appear. The additional conditions of release are that you submit to any monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services, possess no alcohol or illegal drugs, do not drive without a valid license, and possess no firearms or weapons. And then we'll move on to the misdemeanor charges. And those are in justice court. So I am going to release you on your promise to appear for those charges. In that case, your next court date is going to be April 11th. That'll be at 8:30 in the morning before Judge Steele. And you'll have all the same conditions of release except no pretrial services in the misdemeanor cases. So do not drive if you don't have a valid license, do not possess or consume alcohol or illegal drugs, do not possess firearms or weapons. And if you were to fail to appear for any of your court dates, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand the consequences of failing to appear?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. You're excused for today.
Thank you. Resentencing. And that your shirt, man. Come on up.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Amy Brzezinski.
Ms. Brzezinski, this is the time for your initial appearance. You have three new felony charges, one for dangerous drug possession, one for narcotic drug possession, and one for possession of drug paraphernalia. You are also here on some older charges out of Tucson City Court, which were in failure to appear status and warrants had issued for your arrest. Those charges include assault and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's and threats and intimidation, and a domestic violence assault, and a disorderly conduct. On all of these charges, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. On the felony charges, you have a right to be represented by counsel, and I am appointing the public defender's office to represent you, and you have counsel seated next to you for the purposes of today's hearing. On the misdemeanor charges, you can always hire an attorney of your choice, and in some circumstances, you will have the right to have counsel appointed on your behalf. We're going to discuss your conditions of release, and we are going to start with the felony charges. And for that, I have reviewed information from Trial Services, including their assessment. I have reviewed the interim complaint, which describes the circumstances of the charges. And I have reviewed the state's recommendation, which is that you be held on a bond of $5,000, and if you are released to pretrial services. Would the state like to be heard any further about its recommendation?
Judge, the state's recommendation is based on Ms. Brzezinski's failure to appear on matters in the past. So, based on those facts, the state's recommending that she be held on that $5,000 bond. Thank you.
Thank you. And would the defense like to be heard?
Just briefly, Your Honor, Mrs. Brzezinski is 57 years old. I understand that she has some pending misdemeanor matters. However, she has no criminal felony convictions. I would note that the interim complaint, this just reads as a small personal possession case. She is disabled and she has lived in Tucson for most of her life. I would ask that the court consider pretrial services release. However, if the court isn't inclined to impose a bond, we're just asking, given her indigency and her disability, that it be a limp bond.
Thank you. All right, so I am going to order a bond of $250 cash and secured on the felony charges. If you are able to post that bond, you'll be released to pretrial services. You'll be ordered to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, submit to any monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services, possess no firearms or weapons. You also may be eligible for screening for the STEPS program. Does anyone, it doesn't say that in here, but based on the charges, does anyone know eligible for assessment?
Judge, let me look at that.
Thank you. If you are eligible for assessment, ma'am, it's a pre-indictment program. If you were to be accepted and successfully completed, it's possible that the state would not go forward on the felony charges. Are you interested in that program if you are eligible for screening? While we wait on that, I'm going to go ahead and address the misdemeanor charges. So on those, I'm going to order that you are held on a bond of $50 cash or secured. You may have no contact of any kind with the alleged victims. Do not return to the incident locations for the disorderly conduct, assault, criminal trespass. And if there were previous conditions of release that differ from that, please abide by your previous conditions of release as well. You may also possess and consume no alcohol or illegal substances. Your next court date for your misdemeanor Tucson City charges is going to be April 10th at 1:45. If you remain in custody, that'll be for a video review. And if you are released, that will be for a pretrial conference. Either way, it's the same date and time before Judge Blue. And back to the felony.
So, Judge, I've looked at our pretrial services and site and our records here. I'm not showing that she's been screened as appropriate for steps. I'm not saying that she's not, but at this time, there's no indication that she is.
Okay, then unless, is the defense asking me to set the hearing anyway, or no?
It can hurry up.
Okay. Then I will set the steps hearing just to make sure. That will be April 8th at 9 a.m. Ma'am, if you are in jail, again, they will make you available for that hearing. If you're released, you would need to appear for that hearing on your own. And then I'm also going to set a preliminary hearing for you on April 11th. Same thing, if you're in jail, they'll make you available. If you've been released, then it will be your responsibility to appear. And if you fail to appear for any future court dates, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. You're excused for today.
Thank you. Cheers.
Good morning. Please state your name. All right, Mr. Gutierrez, this is the time for your initial appearance. You have a new felony charge of aggravated assault. And then it looks like you also have some additional misdemeanor charges. There's one out of Tucson City Court, which appears to be for trespassing, being in a park after hours. And then there are charges out of Pima County Justice Court for shoplifting, theft, and trespassing. All of those were in failure to appear warrant status. You have the right to remain silent on all of these charges. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney in the new felony charge, and I am appointing the public defender's office to represent you in that charge. On the misdemeanor charges, you have the right to hire counsel of your choice, and in some circumstances, an attorney may be appointed to represent you. We're going to talk about your conditions of release, and we're going to start with the felony aggravated assault charge. And to prepare for that, I have reviewed the interim complaint, which describes the circumstances surrounding the charge. And then I have reviewed information provided by pretrial services about you. And then the state has recommended that you be held on a bond of $7,000. And if you are released to pretrial services. Would the state like to be heard any further?
Not any further, Judge. I mean, just to re-review, the state's concerned about this, Mr. Gutierrez's history of violent behavior, his continual risk to his mother, and that, and we just simply asked that, in addition to his juvenile record, we're also requesting that if he is released, that he be required to not possess a firearm, and no unconsented contact with the victim, his mother. Do not return to the incident location. Again, subject to consent by his mother, and of course, do not consume alcohol or illegal drugs.
Thank you. All right, and would the defense like to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor. We're asking the court to consider his age. He is 19 years old, and he and his family are homeless. It was confirmed by the alleged victim, his mother, who does not object to release. Your Honor, this is a family in very difficult circumstances. And given Mr. Gutierrez's age and the difficult life that has been dealt to him, I think that there will be some other issues that need to be addressed. For those reasons, given his indigency, I'm asking for pretrial services release, or if the court is inclined to set, I would ask that I just want to emphasize the difficult circumstances and the victims request that he be released.
All right, so on the felony charge, I am going to order a bond of $500 cash or secured. If you are released, sir, you'll be released to the custody of pretrial services. You'll be required to submit a monitoring agreement as directed by pretrial services. You will be required to possess and consume no alcohol or illegal drugs. You may not possess any firearms. If you do have any firearms, you must surrender them. At this time, I'm not going to order no contact with the victim since she is indicating that she is willing to have contact with you. However, if you know that that is a situation that will set you up for more charges because of the relationship or interactions there, then I would recommend that you yourself choose not to have any contact. Your next court date is going to be April 11th at 1:30. That will be for a preliminary hearing. If you are in custody, the jail will make you available for that hearing. If you have been released, then it will be your responsibility to appear. If you fail to appear for that court hearing, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand? All right, so I'm going to finish out that, and then we're going to go into the shoplifting charge. Which is from Pima County Justice Court. The alleged offense date is from October of 2024. And in that case, I will order that you are released on your promise to appear for future court dates. Your court date is going to be the same day, but at 8:30 in the morning. So April 11th at 8:30 in the morning at Pima County Justice Court in front of Judge Steele for the shoplifting case. No contact with the alleged victim. Do not return to the incident location. If you remain in custody, then the jail will make you available for that hearing. If you are released, it'll be your responsibility to appear. You may not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. And I'm just going to check on one thing. And your attorney, John Ellis, will remain appointed on your behalf. Then we're going to move into the theft case, which is also from October of 2024. We're going to do the same release conditions there. No contact with the alleged victim, no possession of alcohol or illegal drugs, do not return to the incident location. However, the court date is different because of the way these cases are assigned. So on that case, it's going to be April 17th at 10:30 a.m. or I'm not holding him on any of the misdemeanors. Okay, it's showing up here as 417 at 10:30, but should it be 411 at 8:30? Okay, so we are going to be able to put it as the same date. So that'll be April 11th at 8:30 in the morning at Pima County Justice Court, and your attorney will also remain appointed in that case. And then the criminal trespass from January of this year out of Pima County Justice Court will also be the same. The court date will be April 11th at 8:30. John Ellis will be appointed on your behalf. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no contact with the alleged victim, and do not return to the incident location. And then finally, we have your Tucson City Court case. That one will have a different court date. It will be April 28th at 9:30 at Tucson City Court. And the additional conditions of release are that you do not return to the incident location, do not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and that court hearing will be before Judge Hale. If you do not appear for any of your future court dates, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And then on the Tucson City Court charge, I'm also going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf and let you know that you are presumed to be innocent. However, if you fail to appear for court, not only can a warrant issue for your arrest, the hearings can also go forward in your absence, including trial. And if you are convicted and fail to appear for sentencing for at least 90 days, you can lose your right to a direct appeal. You understand the consequences of failing?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You're excused. I knew there was one I didn't sign. No, please. Thank you.
Hudson?
Good morning. Please state your name.
Justin Edward Hudson. And where are you going?
This is the time for your initial appearance. You are here today on new felony charges of possession of a narcotic drug and possession of drug paraphernalia. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. So you have counsel seated next to you for the purposes of today's hearing, and I'm just waiting to find out which of the offices is up to be appointed for you. It'll be the public defender's office appointed for you. And we're going to talk about your conditions of release. It looks like you are eligible or may be eligible for the STEPS pre-indictment diversion program. So you're eligible to be screened for that program. That is a program that involves substance abuse treatment. And if you were to program and successfully complete it, it's possible that the state would not go forward with the felony drug charges. Are you interested in that program?
Yes, ma'am.
So I will set a hearing for your eligibility screening on April 8th at 9 a.m. At that hearing, you'll have the opportunity to speak with an attorney further about the program, to speak with service providers and pretrial services, and they'll determine your eligibility. It's my understanding that folks usually only get one opportunity, so if you were to miss that hearing, you would likely not get another opportunity to be a part of that program. Yes. He is, yeah, I already had that he was, that he had other matters holding him. Oh, okay, all right. Okay, so it's my understanding further that you have another matter holding you in custody. So regardless of what I did on this case today, you would still remain in custody. And the jail has informed the clerks that there may be additional charges coming, and so that you will be appearing this evening for an initial appearance on the additional charges as well, just so you're aware of all of that. And so I've reviewed information from pretrial services, and I have reviewed the state's recommendation that you be held on a bond of $3,000, and then if you're able to post that bond, you can be released to pretrial services. Would the state like to be heard further?
No, Judge, we're being noted that Mr. Holston was had an outstanding warrant for an ongoing case, and he was picked up on this offense. So, for those reasons, Judge, the state believes that that $3,000 bond is appropriate. Thank you.
All right, and the defense.
Your Honor, he is a nice president, a nice family, and he also maintains employment and his powers indicated as a substance use disorder. So I do hope that he can participate in diversion program. I don't have information about the other things that are applying this year, but if that is the case, I would defer to the court and just ask for a loan bond so that he can vote tonight.
All right, thank you. And it looks like that's a probation. Well, that might be a probation violation, but it might not be. I can't tell. Okay. All right. So I am going to order a bond of $500 cash or secured if you are able to be released because your other matters are resolved and you are able to post that bond. Then you will be released to the custody of pretrial services. You'll be required to check in with pretrial services, submit to any monitoring or treatment that they direct. You may not possess any alcohol or illegal drugs. You may not possess any firearms or weapons. And your next court date will be that April 8th pretrial diversion screening. And then you'll have a preliminary hearing set on April 21st at 1:30. That'll be for a preliminary hearing. It's possible that that hearing will not go forward. So you'll want to be in touch with your attorney about that. If you remain in custody, the jail will make you available for these hearings. If you are released, it'll be your responsibility to appear. And if you fail to appear, a warrant can issue for your arrest. You understand?
Yes.
Thank you. You're excused for today. All right. What's the problem with Alvaro? He does have the just.
1 minute.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Chicago Juan.
Mr. Juan, this is the time for your initial appearance. You are here this morning on charges of burglary. These allegations are from November of 2024. Also, unlawful use of a means of transportation as a passenger. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney, and the legal defender is appointed to represent you in this case. You do have counsel seated next to you for the purposes of today's hearing. So it does look like a warrant was issued for your arrest when you failed to appear for your arraignment after a summons. I have reviewed information provided by pretrial services, and it's my understanding that the warrant was issued with a bond of $5,000. And I don't think the state has made any recommendations about this one that I'm aware of. Does the state have anything to add?
Judge, the state would request a bond of $1,000 in this case based on Mr. Shikailo's history of failing to appear for past court hearings.
Okay, thank you. And would the defense like to be heard?
Just briefly, Mr. Juan is 27 and he's a lifelong resident. As such, I do not believe that he is a flight risk. He was honest with pretrial services. It sounds like he sort of got the dates here mixed up. I am asking for another opportunity on pretrial services, as the state suggested.
Thank you. So I will order the bond of $1,000, cash or secured. Sir, if you are able to post that bond, you'll be released to pretrial services. You must submit to the monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services. You must check in with them as requested. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons, no contact with the alleged victim, and do not return to the incident location. Your next court date will be for a criminal arraignment. That's on April 8th at 1:30 in the afternoon. If you remain in custody, the jail will make you available for that hearing. If you're released, it'll be your responsibility to appear, and if you fail to appear, a warrant would likely issue for your arrest. Do you understand? Thank you. You're excused for today.
Wendy.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Fortune, like easier for me. Fortune Burgundy.
All right. Let me have a quick look here. Okay, Ms. Lagundi, this is the time for your initial appearance on charges of unlawful use of a means of transportation. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. I am appointing the public defender's office to represent you in this case, and you do have counsel seated next to you for the purposes of today's hearing. We're going to talk about your conditions of release at today's hearing. And to prepare for that, I have reviewed the interim complaint, which provides some detail about the arrest. I have also reviewed the information provided by pretrial services, including information you provided about yourself, their assessment, whether or not you have any felony criminal history. And I have reviewed the state's recommendation, which is that you be held on a bond of $500, cash or secured. And if you are able to post that bond, that you be released to pretrial services. Would the state like to be heard further?
No, Judge.
And would the defense like to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor. We're asking for pretrial services release based on the interim complaint. She sort of has been all involvement here. She is 18. She's low on the scales. She's been assessed as a level 1 nonviolent offense. She's a longtime resident and also a full-time student, and her address is verified by her sister who can't help support her. She also has no priors. I think for all of those reasons, Ms. Lugundi is an appropriate candidate for pretrial services.
Ms. Lagundi, if I did release you to pretrial services, would you appear for your future court dates?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I will release you to pretrial services today. The additional orders are that you submit to any monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services. You may not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. You may not possess any firearms or weapons. No contact with the alleged victim, and do not return to the incident location to the extent you know where that is, where the vehicle is taken from. Your next court date is going to be April 21st. That's at 1:30 in the afternoon. That'll be for a preliminary hearing. It is possible that that hearing date will change, so stay in touch with your attorney, as it will be your responsibility to be aware of your court dates and appear for them. If you were to fail to appear for your future court dates, a warrant could issue for your arrest. You understand?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. You're excused for today. Good morning. Please state your name.
Mark Mitchell.
Mr. Mitchell, this is the time for your initial appearance on charges of theft of a means of transportation. You also are here on your initial appearance for a number of matters out of Tucson City Court for which you were arrested. It looks like those were all in failure to appear status. Warrants had been issued for your arrest in those cases. You have the right to remain silent on all of these matters. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney on the new felony case. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. And in some circumstances, you have the right to court-appointed counsel on the misdemeanor charges. You always have the right to hire your own counsel as well. We're going to talk about your conditions of release, and to prepare for that, I have reviewed the interim complaint describing the circumstances of the new felony charge. I have also reviewed pretrial services information, including any information that you provided to them, their assessment of your likelihood to commit new crimes or fail to appear for court, and whether or not you have any criminal history of a felony nature. I have also reviewed the state's recommendation, which is that you be held on a bond of $7,500, and if you are released, be released to pretrial services. Would the state like to be heard further about the recommendation?
Just briefly, Judge, the state's recommendation is based on Mr. Mitchell's demonstrated failure to appear in past matters. We're also noting, Judge, that there were pending charges at the time when this offense was committed. So based on those factors, Judge, we believe that a $7,500 bond is appropriate in this case. Thank you.
And I'm not sure that I can see that there were pending charges. Let me look through here again. Pending felony charges. Where are you seeing that?
I'm seeing that on our pretrial services workup under the attachments where there's a failure to appear scale, the FTA scale.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me look at that. Okay. Okay, thank you. I'm not sure if that only refers to felonies there. We can see he has a number of pending misdemeanor charges, but I don't see anything else that would suggest there were pending felony charges.
That's correct, Judge. I mean, what I see here is indicative of misdemeanors.
Okay, thank you. All right. And the defense.
Your Honor, Mr. Mitchell is 30 years old and he's lived here half of his life. It appears that he lives with his parents. While he has pending matters, he does not have a conviction history. Just reading the interim complaint, looking at pre-trials, sort of assessment, this wasn't for those reasons. I'm asking the court respectfully to consider pre-trial services release, or just based on Mr. Mitchell's indigency.
Thank you. So in the felony matter, I'm going to order a bond of $2,500 cash or secured, pretrial services, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons, no contact with the alleged victim, do not go to their residence or workplace, do not return to the incident location. Your next court date will be April 11th at 1:30. That'll be at Pima County Justice Court for a preliminary hearing. If you remain in custody, the jail will make you available for that hearing. If you are released, then it'll be your responsibility to appear. And if you fail to appear, a warrant can issue for your arrest. And then we're going to look at the Tucson City Court cases. On those cases, I am going to appoint the City of Tucson Public Defender to represent you. I am going to order a bond of $250 cash or secured. No contact with the alleged victims, do not return to the incident location. So that would be any place that there was trespassing, disorderly conduct, theft. And if there were previously ordered conditions of release, abide by those. And possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence. Your next court date for those cases, if you remain in custody, will be April 11th at 1:45. That will be for a video review. That may be the same date as your other case, but if you're in custody, the jail will be able to make you available for each hearing before the sessions are over. And if you post bond and are released, then your city court date will be May 5th at 2:30. And that will be for a pretrial conference. And if you fail to appear for your city court dates after being released, a warrant can issue for your arrest, just like it has in these cases already. Do you understand?
Not entirely.
One moment, Your Honor.
Thank you. Oh, okay.
It should be May 2nd.
Okay. All right, I'll try to catch him and tell him, but it'll be on the paperwork.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
And I did have the wrong date for the out date for Tucson City Court. So, sir, if you're released before you go to court in Tucson City, it'll be May 2nd at 9:30.
Okay, thank you. You'll get additional paperwork, okay?
Oh my God. I'm never gonna fish a bite. Oh man, somebody take me from crazy. God.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Stephanie Lee Salerno Jones.
Great, Ms. Jones, this is the time for your initial appearance on charges of possession of a narcotic drug and possession of drug paraphernalia. These are both felony offenses. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. Oh, and this one's missing. Is it public defender? Ms. Salerno Jones? I am appointing the public defender's office to represent you in this case, and you do have counsel seated next to you for the purposes of today's hearing. At today's hearings, we're going to talk about your conditions of release. And to prepare for that, I have reviewed the information surrounding your arrest in the interim complaint. I've reviewed information provided by pretrial services. Which would include whether or not you have any felony criminal history, any information you or your references provided, and the assessments and recommendations of pretrial services. I've also reviewed the state's recommendation that you be held on a bond of $2,500, cash or secured, and that if you are released, you be released to pretrial services. Would the state like to be heard any further? Sorry, if you
No,
are.
Your Honor.
Thank you. And
Your Honor, I just had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Salerno Jones. I would first note that this was assessed as a level 1 non-entitlement defense. She's pretty low this low on the scales. She has a roommate who verified her residence and she's welcome home. So she has that support. She also has no problems or any other pending matters to my knowledge. It appears that Mrs. Salerno Jones is also injured. And she just informed me that she needs to be home so that she can take her medications and deal with any sort of disabilities or diagnosis that she has. So for those reasons, particularly the fact that she has no other pending, is that she's eligible to participate in steps, I would ask for pretrial release today.
thank you. And I just want to double check. Joseph Chereva is not one of your roommates. Is that correct?
That's correct. He's an old boss.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I am going to order that you be released to pretrial services. And then it looks like you may be eligible for screening for the STEPS pre-indictment diversion program. That is a program that involves substance abuse treatment. And if you were to be accepted and successfully complete that program, it's possible that the state would not go forward with the felony drug charges. Are you interested in that?
Yes, I am.
All right, so I'll set a hearing for your eligibility screening for April 8th at 9 a.m. I believe you only get one shot to show up for that, so if you failed to appear, you wouldn't get another chance. At that hearing, you'll have a chance to speak with an attorney about the program and speak with service providers and pretrial services. And then we also need to set your preliminary hearing. Generally, we have to have that within 20 days for the state to determine if they are going to do an indictment or go forward in a different manner with the charges. In order to allow time for you to be assessed and potentially accepted into the pretrial diversion program, would you be willing to waive that to 45 days?
One moment. Yes, Your Honor, we're willing to waive time.
Thank you. So I'll set your preliminary hearing on May 16th at 1:30. It's possible that hearing may not go forward, so you'll want to keep in good touch with your attorney so you know when your court dates are. The additional conditions of release are that you submit to any monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services, do not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, do not possess any firearms or weapons. If you were to fail to appear for a court date, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, thank you. You're excused for today.
Thank you. Thank you. Yep.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Thomas Viola.
Mr. Viola, this is the time for your initial appearance on charges of possessing a weapon as a prohibited possessor and discharging a firearm in city limits. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney, and I am appointing the Public Defender's Office to represent you in this case. You have counsel seated next to you for the purposes of today's hearing. At today's hearing, we are going to talk about your conditions of release, and I have reviewed the interim complaint, which provides information surrounding the various charges. And I have reviewed information provided by pretrial services, which includes information you provided to them and any information that was verified by your references. It includes whether you have a felony criminal history and what that looks like. And it includes their assessment on a new criminal activity and a failure to appear scale. I have also reviewed information provided by the state, who is recommending that you be held on a bond of $2,500. And would the state like to be heard further on that?
Briefly, Judge, this state's recommendation is based on the risk of the community, since there are repeated incidents where Mr. Viola is seen this is by way of evidence that's found on his cell phone. He's repeatedly continued to possess firearms that he's not allowed to possess. And there's also some evidence that he's firing these weapons that he's not supposed to have within the city limits. So based on that, Judge, the state's recommending a bond of $2,500.
Thank you. And would the defense like to be heard?
One moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, Mr. Viola was assessed as a level 1. These are old cases, or I suppose old offense dates. I would note that he is low on the scales. He's 18 years old. He lives with his dad and recently had applied to live in an apartment because he is ready to work again, and he also has children that he has to support. He does have the one juvenile conviction with a sentence date December 4th, 2024. The interim complaint indicates that his rights are not restored. I don't typically work with juveniles, Your Honor, but at least adult felony charges, we see that those rights are automatically restored for a first-time offense. Second, so for those reasons, because it appears that Mr. Viola is doing well, release, we ask it, he be released to reachable services. And given his indigency, he is working. However, he has to support other people. Escaped trial release. A low benefit is the inclination.
Thank you. 1 second. From my review, these offenses are all in the last 3 to 4 months. I am going to order the bond of $2,500, cash or secured. If you are able to post that bond, you'll be required to submit to any monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services. You may not possess or consume alcohol or illegal drugs. Sir, you may not possess or hold a firearm. If you have any firearms in your possession when you are released, you must surrender them to local law enforcement. Your next court date is going to be April 11th at 1:30. If you remain in custody, the jail will make you available for that hearing. If you are released, you are required to appear for that hearing, and if you fail to appear, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You're excused. Is there something I can fix?
Oh, no, we just can't. I'm gonna check his work, but I can't log in.
That's all I have. Does anyone have anything else?
Oh, thank you, Your Honor.
Right. Thank everyone. Have a good day. All right.
The first one is a Superior Court new case.
La primera es un caso nuevo en el Tribunal Superior.
Alleging one kind of aggravated assault, a class 3 felony.
Se asevera en su contra una acusación por agresión con agravante delito de categoría 3.
I've appointed a lawyer to represent you.
Le nombré un abogado para que lo represente.
Your next hearing is going to be a status conference April 7th at 8:30.
Su siguiente audiencia va a ser una consulta de actualización el 7 de abril a las 8:30.
I've set a $75,000 bond.
Le estoy fijando una fianza de $75,000.
You are not to return to the alleged scene of the crime.
No puede regresar al lugar de los hechos.
Absolutely no contact with the alleged victim.
Absolutamente ningún contacto con la supuesta víctima.
The next two matters are both probation violation warrants.
Las siguientes dos causas son por órdenes de arresto por quebrantamiento del probatorio.
Pero
You're on probation for a Class 4 and a Class 6 felony.
Tiene probatorio por dos causas. Uno es un delito de categoría 4 y el otro es un delito de categoría 6.
Probation is alleging you've now violated your probation on these two matters.
El probatorio asevera que quebrantó su régimen probatorio en las dos causas mencionadas.
Pero,
by getting those new charges that we just talked about. That's called a Term 1 violation.
Como levantó acusación nueva y ya estaba en probatorio, ese es el quebrantamiento del probatorio, quebrantó la condición número 1 de su probatorio.
I've appointed a lawyer on both of these to represent you.
Le nombré un abogado en ambos para su representación.
Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, April 8th at 8:30.
Su siguiente audiencia va a ser una audiencia de vistas con posible disposición la causa va a ser el 8 de abril a las 8:30 de la mañana.
Pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 7.2C, you'll be held non-bailable on both of those cases.
De acuerdo al Código Actualizado de Arizona 7.2C y los procesamientos y procedimientos del Código Penal, no tiene derecho a fianza en esas dos quebrantamientos del probatorio.
Now, do you have a question for me?
¿Tiene alguna duda, señor?
sí.
Yes.
Yo Ronaldo tengo todo bien con mi probation. Yo me toca reportarme con mi probation hasta ahorita el 20. Y mi oficial de probation es Giovanni Sánchez. Yo estoy todo bien con todo mi caso de probation. Yo voy haciendo todo bien. Ayer me arrestaron.
Señor, momentito. I am doing everything on probation. I'm still following my probation. I'm not supposed to report until the 20th. I've been reporting. My probation officer is Giovanni Sanchez.
The reason why you have probation violations is that you just got arrested for a new charge.
El motivo por el cual quebrantó el probatorio es porque lo detuvieron por una acusación nueva.
The probation department did not say that you violated any other condition of your probation.
El probatorio no dijo que haya quebrantado ninguna otra condición del probatorio.
But one of your terms of probation is not to get arrested for another charge.
Pero una de las condiciones, una de sus medidas cautelares del probatorio es que no puede tener otra acusación. Lo arrestaron por una acusación nueva.
Pues sí, pero yo no tuve nada que ver en eso ayer.
Yeah, but I didn't have anything to do with that yesterday.
Yo nomás iba a pedir agua al Circo K y pues mi no entra así. Mi no entra del Circo K.
Sir, I'm going to advise you not to talk about the facts of your case.
Señor, no debe de hablar de los hechos de su caso.
You should talk with your attorney because this is being video recorded.
Debe hablar con su abogado porque esto todo se está grabando en video.
But I have read a summary from the police department.
Leí el resumen del departamento policial.
And I have found probable cause.
Determiné que existían motivos fundados.
Which included a statement about a camera that caught the incident on the camera footage.
Incluyendo que hay un video que tomó la cámara. Está grabado el incidente.
You're going to get your paperwork from the court staff.
Le entregaron sus
There you go. Good luck to you.
Ahí los tiene. Buena suerte, señor.
Fuck you.
Interpreter, can you ask if anyone else needs your services, and if they do so, have them raise their hand?
Yes, Your Honor. ¿Hay alguna persona que necesite ayuda en español? Si necesita español, levante la mano, por favor.
Nope. Thank you so much, interpreter. You were so timely.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You too.
Whenever you're ready, you call next one.
Pardon?
You call next one whenever you're ready.
Yeah, for the rest of you, as you can see, you're going to come in individually, state your name and date of birth. I'm going to tell you what you've been booked on and whether an attorney has been appointed to represent you. I'm also going to give you the date of your next court appearance. I will let you know whether you're eligible for a bond or not. If it's a secured bond, that means you can go through a bonding company. Phone numbers for the various bonding companies are located in the jail cell. You can call any one of them. They will accept collect calls. If it's a cash bond, then you have to pay the entire amount of the bond. I'm also going to tell you if I've set any release conditions, like no returning to the alleged scene of the crime or no contact with the alleged victim. You need to follow each and every condition if you want to remain released. Let me remind you, if you've been ordered by a court not to have contact with the victim and then you do so, you may be charged with an additional felony. Now, when you come in the courtroom, please be aware this is all being video recorded. So do not talk about the facts of your case, as you have the right to remain silent. As you leave the courtroom, the court staff's going to give you your paperwork. That's going to show you your charges, your attorney information, where, when, what time your next court date is, whether you're eligible for a bond or not, and then it'll have a list of all your release conditions. The purpose of this hearing is to determine whether you're eligible for a bond or not. That decision is based on your current charges, any failure to appear, your past criminal history, and Arizona law. It's not based on personal information, so don't go into that. Keisha, Goff, come on in. And then Brian Golick to the chain outside the courtroom. All right, state your name and date of birth.
Keisha Goff, 8/21/97.
Okay, you have two matters. The first one is a Superior Court new case alleging one count of possession of narcotic drug, Class 4 felony, one count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, April 7th at 8:30. You know what this is not. Can you print this out again? Wait just a second. Yeah. Need this print, just the first one. I've set a $2,500 bond. Then you've got a probation violation. You're on probation for a Class 3 felony. Probation is alleging you violated term 3, 5, 7, and 15. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, April 8th at 8:30. And pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 7.2C, you'll be held non-bailable. Court staff will bring you your paperwork, okay? Brian Golick?
I have a question.
You have what?
I have a question.
What's your question?
So I have court on the 7th and on the 8th.
Is the what?
I have court on the 7th and on the 8th. And all those things that you said, like 4 different things I've been held for probation violations.
Those are the 3 terms of probation that probation is alleging that you committed, you violated.
Can you tell me what those things are?
Yeah. Term 3, you did not report as directed on January 27th of this year. Term 5, you moved before getting approval to change your address. Your whereabouts are unknown since January 25th. Term 7, you possessed or used an illegal drug or controlled substance. Term 15, you didn't abide by the GPS rules. You failed to participate in an evaluation. All they have to do is prove one. Just one of those to violate you. All right, get your paperwork. Brian Golick, come on in. And then Diego Fuentes to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Brian Dollar 4282.
You got a Superior Court probation violation for your probation that you're on for Class 4 felony. Probation is alleging you violated Term 1, 5, and 15. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, April 8th at 8:30, pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 7.2C. You'll be held non-bailable. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Diego, come on in. Lamont Groves to the chair outside the courtroom.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning. State your name and date of birth.
Diego Fuentes, January 22nd, 1999. Now, I know you said not to bring up personal stuff, and I know this is my first offense. I honestly, I know this doesn't matter or anything, but I know I messed up. I'm not going to say exactly what I did. I'm not going to say, I was mad.
I'm really gonna want to stop you.
Yes, I know. But I'm honestly scared because I got my kids, I got my wife at home, and nobody else works. So.
Well, let me go through this with you, okay? You've got a Superior Court new case alleging 2 counts of aggravated assault, Class 3 felonies. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, April 7th at 8:30. I said a $25,000 bond. You can go through a bonding company, usually 10%.
Okay, so that's
you are not $2,500.
So that's like $2,000.
You are not to return to the alleged scene of the crime. Absolutely no contact with the alleged victims. That's a low bond for these 2 charges. Make sure you go to court, because I'm going to tell you, if you don't, you're going to get a much higher bond. Got it?
I was going to ask, I do have the court the 8th for my wife. She has an immigration hearing. I don't know.
I don't have anything to do with that.
Okay.
You have a status conference on April 7th. That you have to be in court for.
That's on Monday, right?
Look, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Get your paperwork from the court staff.
I do have a question. I personally don't have anything to put down on my bond, but my boss, he told me he was gonna pay for it.
All you have to do is make a call.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Is it okay if I step out just to make the call, or?
No, you're gonna have to wait and just.
Oh, there's phones over there? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. You don't know how much I really appreciate you.
Okay, good luck. Lamont Groves, come on in. Joel Cano to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Lamont Groves, 8/14/1970.
You've got a Superior Court probation violation for your probation that you're on for Class 4 felony. Probation is alleging you violated terms 7, 15, 18, and 21. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, April 8th at 8:30. I set a $5,000 bond.
If you post that bond, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours.
Okay.
It's,
I'm sorry, go ahead. Now, I was waiting for you to finish.
no, I was going to say that you can go through a bonding company,
okay.
not cash.
Okay. But what I was going to ask you, being that I don't have that, I have not, done anything. I was wondering for my own recognizance, I have a residence of everything, and I'll be there on time. I really would appreciate it, because
Sir, here are what they are alleging.
Okay.
That you didn't get prior approval to change your address. If they haven't known where you've been since June 20th of 2023, I'm going to tell you I almost just held you non-bondable.
Okay, I'm not going to go into detail with it, but at that time, when that reason for that, when I had talked to that PO, she knew if my folks had passed, I didn't have no place to go, and I had let her know that, and then I said I didn't have no address, so she didn't help me when I got hit by a car. Then after that, my brother died.
It's been 2 years.
I know.
2 years. Yeah, you're lucky I didn't hold you non-bondable. Get your paperwork.
All right.
Joel Cano, come on in. Laura Stackhouse to the chair outside the courtroom.
Joel Bravo, Chair 1722.
Okay. Joel Cano, Bravo Cano, and date of birth 9/17 of 2002. All right, you have 4 matters. First one is a Superior Court probation violation. You're on probation for a Class 6 felony. Probation is alleging you violated term 3, 5, and 15. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, April 8th at 8:30. And I've set a $2,000 bond on this. Now, your next matter is another probation violation. You're on probation for a second Class 6. Probation is alleging you violated the same, 3, 5, and 15. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be on the same day, April 8th, 8:30, for an arraignment, possible disposition, set a $2,000 bond. Then you've got new charges, alleging 1 count of possession of narcotic drug, Class 4 felony, 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, April 7th at 8:30. Set a $2,000 bond. And then lastly, you've got another probation violation. This one is for your probation that you're on for Class 4 felony. Probation is alleging you violated term 3, 5, and 15. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, April 8th at 8:30. And again, I set a $2,000 bond. If you post these 4 bonds, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Laura Stackhouse, come on in. Henry Melchor to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Hi, it's Laura Stackhouse, 10/13/1986.
You have a failure to appear warrant for 1 count of possession of narcotic drug, Class 4 felony, 1 count of theft, Class 1 misdemeanor. You already were appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, April 7th at 8:30. Set a $2,000 bond. If you post that bond, you've got a long list of conditions you're going to have to follow. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Henry, come on in. Lowell Hernandez to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
My name is Henry Melcher, September 16, 1999.
You have a probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for Class 4 felony. Probation is alleging you violated term 3. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, April 8th at 8:30. I've set a $900 bond. If you post that, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Okay, get your paperwork. Lowell, come on in. Cardenas to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Hernandez, 10-382.
All right, probation violation for your probation that you're on for class 4 felony. Probation is alleging you violated term 3 and 5. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, April 8th at 8:30. Set a $900 bond. If you post that, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Get your paperwork from the court staff.
Thank you.
Mr. Cardenas, come on in. Uni Krishnan Grishma to the chair outside the courtroom.
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning. State your name and date of birth.
Osiris Cardenas, and my date of birth is 07/21/2004.
You have a justice court warrant from Desert Ridge Justice Court for 1 count of driving while license suspended or revoked. That's a misdemeanor. And then when you didn't go to court on it, every time you don't go to court, you get a new charge. Failure to appear. That's also a misdemeanor. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing is going to be an arraignment, April 4th at 8:30. The judge there had asked for a bond of $500. I reduced it to $50.
Okay.
Get your paperwork from the court staff.
I have a question. So for the failure to appear, was it because I didn't answer the phone? Because I went to the court for that.
Well, you can tell the judge there, I have nothing to do with it.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you. I appreciate it, Your Honor.
Uh-huh.
You have a blessed day.
Ms. Krishnan, come on in. Jared Valenzuela to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Hi, this is Grishma Unnikrishnan, 06/15/1993.
You've got a Superior Court new case alleging 1 count of aggravated assault, class 6 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, April 16th at 8:30. I'm going to tell you the county attorney on this matter had requested a $5,000 bond. I see that you have nothing, no failures to appear, looks like no history. I'm going to release you on your own promise to go to court. Don't miss court, though, because then for sure you'll have a bond. You can have no contact with the alleged victim. So
I no need to go to their house, but they come and stand on my stairs.
I don't want you to talk about this. I read some of the stuff, the summary of the police report. I just don't want you to have any contact. If you see the victim, you go the other way.
No, they are coming and standing on my stairs. They are blocking my stairs.
From now on. No contact from now on. You got it?
That's what has happened today also. When I was going on the stairs, they blocked me and they hit my gate and they are blaming I hit them. I know they are
I don't want you to say anything about the case right now.
Okay.
All I'm saying is when you get released, you're going to get released today, don't go around them.
No, I will not.
That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, sure.
No contact. All right. You got your paperwork. Jared Valenzuela. Come on in.
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning. State your name and date of birth.
Jared Andrew Valenzuela, January 31st, 1989.
You have a municipal court warrant for 1 count of disorderly conduct, fighting, 1 count of criminal damage, both class 1 misdemeanors. You'll have a lawyer appointed for you at your next hearing, which will be an arraignment, April 29th at 1:30. They had asked for a bond of $50. I'm just going to release you, but you need to go to court, not get a warrant, all right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then we have a bunch of house calls.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
They're going to bring you your case. Yeah. So on number 2 through 4, apparently he was screaming. It says withdrawing and screaming. Deputy?
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of out of control? All right.
The court-weighted officers couldn't control it.
Okay, it's Jamie Wright, date of birth 4/15 of 84.
Yeah.
Got 3 matters. First one is municipal court warrant for one kind of DUI, liquor, drug, or vapors, one kind of DUI, drugs, or metabolite, both class 1 misdemeanors. I've appointed attorney, and one will be appointed at the next hearing, which will be an arraignment April 3rd at 9 a.m. I've set a $250 bond. Then the next one is the municipal court new case alleging one kind of shoplifting, removal of goods, one kind of shoplifting concealment, both class 1 misdemeanors. She'll have an attorney appointed at her next hearing. You have to clear. Next hearing will be an arraignment April 8th at 8 a.m. and I've set a $50 bond. And then the last one is a justice court warrant from Arrowhead Justice Court for one kind of driving while license suspended or revoked, class 1 misdemeanor, one kind of failure to appear, class 2 misdemeanor. She'll have an attorney appointed at her next hearing, which will be an arraignment April 8th at 8:30. I've set a $50 bond.
I got to put on close.
Then Taylor, is everything clear?
Well, Mr. Robles. It was number 19 through 21. Did you get both?
Yeah, but it's, I have to have it cleared. Ogilio Celaya, look at number 19.
That's it. They know that.
Is that him?
It's all clear.
Come on in. Is it clear then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was very good. Sorry.
Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Rogelio Robles Celaya, 050278.
All right, you have 3 different matters. First one is a Superior Court arrest warrant for one count of unlawful distribution of nude images, class 5 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, April 7th at 8:30. It's at a $900 bond. The next one is a municipal court warrant for Peoria Municipal Court for 2 counts of disorderly conduct. Those are class 1 misdemeanors. You'll have a lawyer appointed for you at your next hearing, which will be an arraignment, April 3rd at 9 a.m. It's at a $200 bond. And then lastly, you've got a municipal court warrant, another one from Peoria, 3 counts of disobeying or resisting an order of the court, class 1 misdemeanors. Again, you'll have a lawyer appointed for you at your next hearing, which will be an arraignment, April 3rd at 9 a.m. I'm going to tell you, sir, that those 2 I reduced from $1,200 cash and $1,700 cash to $200 each.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay? All right. Court staff will give you your paperwork.
Thank you.
And then number 10 and 11, it is Taylor Buenas. She was refusing orders. Taylor Marie Buenas, date of birth 4/19 of 93. She has 2 matters. First one is a failure to appear bench warrant for one kind of resisting arrest, class 6 felony. She already has a court-appointed attorney. Her next hearing will be a status conference, April 7th at 8:30. It's at a $1,000 bond. Then she's got a Superior Court new case alleging one kind of theft of means of transportation, class 3 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent her. Her next hearing will be a status conference, April 7th at 8:30. I've also set an evidentiary hearing for April 8th at 1:30. I'm having a hard time breathing here. Since she was out on release on the first matter, pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule Procedure 4.2 A7A, she'll be held non-bailable. Number 24, Manuel Noguera. He's a danger to others. Date of birth is 2/4 of 92. First matter is a failure to appear bench warrant on one count of aggravated assault on an officer, one count of possession of dangerous drug, one count of possession of narcotic drug. All three are class 4 felonies. One count of attempted aggravated assault on an officer, one count of resisting arrest, one count of possession of drug paraphernalia. Those are all class 6 felonies. He already has a court-appointed lawyer. His next hearing will be a non-witness violation hearing. Yeah, this is a probation matter, and he's on probation for a class 6 and a class 1 misdemeanor. Probation is alleging he violated term 4, 7, and 15. Next hearing, non-witness violation hearing, and possibly disposition, April 8th, 8:30. I've set a $2,500 bond. And the second matter is another failure to appear for one count of criminal trespass in the first degree of a residential structure, one count of resisting arrest, both class 6 felonies, one count of an assault, one count of criminal damage, both class 1 misdemeanors. Already has a court-appointed lawyer, another probation. Next hearing will be a non-witness violation hearing, April 8th at 8:30. I've set a $2,500 bond. Lastly, Gabrielle Huanti. He's a house call because of bizarre behavior. Date of birth is 8/9 of 86. First one is an Arrowhead Justice Court new case, alleging one count of an assault, class 1 misdemeanor, one count of criminal damage, class 2 misdemeanor. He'll have a lawyer appointed for him at his next hearing, which will be an arraignment, April 8th at 8:30. I've set a $1,000 bond on that. Second one is a municipal court warrant, alleging one count of an assault, one count of disorderly conduct, both class 1 misdemeanors. He'll have a lawyer appointed for him at his next hearing, which will be an arraignment, April 3rd at 9 a.m. I set $1,000. He's also on parole with a parole hold. Why is it that I'm losing my breath?